Welcome back, Mentees, to another episode of Reviews in a Flash. As always, spoiler-free. I'm the Astonishing Melanie, and...
I am the Uncanny Omar. It's been a little bit since we've done this, but before we get started, a huge thank you to Adam Lawson, who sent us a copy of this book. Not only just sent us, but physically printed it, I don't know if himself, but had it printed for us so we can review it to show the artwork, because we do physical books here on
Artwork
the
by
channel.
Jorin Evers.
Thank you, that's the other important thing, and Adam is the writer on this. So let's go ahead and talk about this book. This is the comic book.
So this issue is Letting Everyone Down.
It is called The Eighth.
The Eighth.
The Eighth, and this particular chapter, Chapter 1, Issue 1, is called Letting Everyone Down. And yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Look a little bit at the artwork. We can't look too much because I don't want to spoil much of anything. But right now you can find it on Indiegogo as well. Like, they're putting out digital chapters. I believe there's going to be a total of 8 of them. He wants to make a hardcover, and the hardcover pictures I've seen look amazing. I can't wait for this project to come true for both of them. It's very exciting when we have new creators out there.
Yeah, and this is an epic story.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about The Eighth. What is it? What's on the cover, Melanie?
Okay, so David finds a ancient relic in a house that burned down. They were scavenging, and it takes over his arm, gives him powers, etc. And he is going to use this to deal with the bullies in his life. At the beginning, the very beginning, we find out that his brother committed suicide because of bullying. Right. So that's a theme throughout.
Yeah. So David is in high school. That's one thing we need to note. And he is best friends with Atticus and
Emma.
Thank you.
Emma lives with them.
And yeah, so the three of them see a lot of people getting picked on in school. And so he discovers this thing, like the Astonishing Melanie said. It attaches to his arm. It's a very concept that we've seen before in video games. We've seen it before in anime. We've seen it before in manga and in comic books. So I like this approach, though. And I'll talk a little bit about that towards the end. But what else can we say without spoiling anything? Because it is a little hard.
It's a great start to the story. I feel like there's still some mysteries. It makes you want to continue reading, find out about the history of, like, Emma, per se, for example. And it just sets it up, like I said, it sounds like an epic story.
One thing I will note before we look at the artwork and give our final thoughts is that it is very mature. There's a lot of graphic violence. There's nudity, sexual content. Yeah. So if that's not your type of book, then you may want to avoid this. But let's look at this, what I think is an awesome artwork, and give you all a glimpse of it and come back.
The cover, if this were in a comic book store, I would definitely pick it up because covers really speak to me. I don't know if you can tell, but the Eighth has a little bit of blood trickling down on the T. I just love the placement on the cover, the stark black. And as you can see, this is the ancient Sumerian relic that he finds that is covering his arm and his hand. Reminds us of Guyver.
Witchblade, Guyver. Yeah, yep. There we go. So we got to skip a few pages because of mature content.
There we go.
There's somewhere safe. So as you can tell, his artwork has an anime feel to it. So when you mentioned Guyver, I immediately went to, it does have an anime look to it. It reminds me a lot of like Humberto Ramos or even Jeffrey Scott Campbell, Rafael Sandoval, those kind of artists. And I've always liked art like that. Mike Wieringo. So I think it's a good mix of American or Western and Eastern style of art.
Here's a great example of Jorin Evers' artwork in terms of facial expressions. I really appreciate the diverse range of emotion he can display.
Oh, and one thing I didn't know, like when I compare it to anime or even like fighting games, whenever there's action, how the hell did I not compare it to Bleach and Shadow when, Chad has the arm, right? The arm of defense and the arm of offense. But yeah, this is the kind of artwork you can expect. I can't flip too much through here because it would spoil things, and honestly, there's also, like I mentioned, mature content. So now that we've seen this awesome artwork by Jorin Evers, let's give a little bit of our final thoughts and then our score. because it is a little hard to judge this entire, what's going to be an epic 8-issue event just on one single chapter. But I think, like you said earlier, I think it's a good start to a possible epic. I love the idea of this Sumerian background to this piece of armor that he found. So there could be some historical... I love historical fiction when you throw it in there. I'm like... Just much like comic book science, I'm always like, sure, comic book history, it happened. I like the idea of the revenge plot, even though I think the kids take it a little too far sometimes, but hey, that's just me. And I like the mystery of where it leads. Like, where could this possibly go? What mistakes were made? Should they have gone that route? So you almost question the morality of the characters and yourself, if you would be okay doing something like that if you were in their shoes.
Yeah, that's a really good point. What are we giving? What scores are we doing? Out of 5 or out of 10?
We're doing out of 10 on this.
Okay. I give it an 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10? I give it an 8 out of 10 as well, because I think it's an excellent start. I fell in love with the artwork, because immediately I thought of other artists. And I think I think everybody can relate to somebody, whether themselves or someone in their lives has been bullied, and how you would handle that if you were given some godlike powers, right? So I think it's a great start. I wish them well. I cannot wait for the hardcover. So don't stop. We'll leave a link in the description where you can support them and this project, the Indiegogo page. That will be in the description, so keep an eye out on that. And that's pretty much it. So an 8 and an 8. All right, Love, you want to sign us off? Yeah.
Thank you for watching. Please hit that like, subscribe button. Please check out Redbubble, perhaps being a Patreon, and stay minty.
Stay healthy, safe, everyone, and much love. Thank you all.